The first thing is when people like to put their salaries on their resume, and I would love to get more input on this resume. Sometimes I'm on these resume reviews and I see a resume like this and I ask people to review it. If you want to resend it, and we can maybe do another resume workshop, but it needs to be focused on whatever you want to do. And you don't need to talk about all these different things you did because there has to be focus and it has to be focused on something. Okay, so this person so the first thing is you don't list your salary on your resume. If you list your salary, when an employer wants to know your salary, they want to know your salary so they can pay you a little bit more or a little bit less than you're making. That is just not smart. I've taken people that are making $80,000 a year and gotten them jobs for 2 or 3 times that. I do it all the time. So you need to, but there's a lot of things I like about this resume. You don't put the phone number on here. You don't need to do that. That's not necessary. People will ask for that later. So you don't need to do that. If you brought in business, you can put that, but I don't know if that's necessary. So this person graduated. Okay, so remember, when you've been out of school for less than 4 years, you put your education at the top. No need to draw attention to the fact that you're an evening law student. No need to draw the fact that you got a certificate in compliance. Put that other, you can put that maybe, and I wouldn't even call this honors. I would just put, whatever this is. Eagle Scout's good. You guys don't need to put all these local bar associations. Anybody can join the American Bar Association that's got a checkbook. Same thing with the Prince George's Bar Association. These are getting admitted to federal district courts and stuff. Anybody can do a motion, so you don't need to do that. None of that is that necessary. I think here, this wasn't a very long internship. Probably don't need a lot of information here about it. You can if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think about this stuff about saying you were unpaid is necessary. We have all the stuff in here about money. These are the same dates, so I don't really get that. Maybe the dates are messed up. It says approximately $15 hours. Yeah, so just take off your salaries on there. Take off this unpaid stuff. No one cares. And then most people aren't really spending a lot of time doing stuff. This is a good resume, though. The resume is good because you look well positioned to be working as an employment attorney. But let's take off all this stuff that has nothing to do with you being an employment attorney. Let's take off all this stuff about you having supervisors, and just basically if you're trying to do something, and I'm assuming you're trying to do more employment, which I hope so, because you've been doing that for almost a year, and that's how you will get a job. You can get a job in lots of employment firms, but you need to really make it look like you're an employment attorney and take all this stuff out that detracts from it. And by the way, when you put extra language and so forth on your resume, it just confuses people and it gives them much more stuff to read. And people don't necessarily like spending a lot of time reading things. It's just annoying. And you don't need to tell people you make less money than you make, or you're more money, you're less money. No one cares. It's not, you just don't put it on there. And you don't put information that's unnecessary. Like you don't need to put on that you got admitted on motion to the federal district court or you're a member of the American Bar Association. No one cares. And I wouldn't even say professional associations or bar admissions. These are just professional associations too. So you don't even need to call bar admissions. You just make things easy for people to read. And people should be able to look at your resume. If I saw this resume and I was looking for an employment attorney and I saw all this stuff, I would get confused. But if I saw just this at the top, I would be happy. Now, if you don't want to be an employment attorney, you want to do something else, that's a whole separate discussion. But as it is now, this resume is in good shape to be an employment attorney. Let's see what this person is doing. Okay, so this is another foreign resume. And I apologize, but I am not an expert. I'm an expert in U.S. resumes. I don't know that I can get into too much detail with this particular one. I think a lot of the same things that I say are the same for this resume as for others. I think you want to be very careful about anything that deals with things that aren't related to practicing law. So a lot of times people do this. They're very happy about things that they do that are unrelated. And so here you took a CFA exam, you did a pitch to do something else, and now you're an accountant. So so I don't know that I can give much help with this particular. Okay,